Hello and welcome, but to a very, very delayed start. Well, these things happen. Smash Live TV, those of watching the 2023 Pro Sim Racing Sprint Championship Series will fully understand why. Paul Davies, our drivers with him in the chat earlier. It was good to see him, but we are live. Eventually, second half of the race coverage here from I was about to say Daytona, that's what I've been saying about earlier. It's Bathurst! It's Bathurst, full continent!
At Daytona.
Wow.
It feels like a lifetime.
It does, yeah. We've had the iRacing Daytona 24 hour. With Daytona last week in the ARL GT3 trophy. But Sam, I'm just trying to tally up. It is, yes. I was panicking for a minute because my overload's doing something slightly different, that we might not have a pro in the lead. Oh, you know, Sam, I love a good underdog story. And that would have been one. But it's not quite like that at the moment. It's Oscar Pye, well, surprise, surprise. He's leading the way. He's leading the way, and we have got Coley in second, Lang third. Unfortunately, we've missed that for the first half of the race. We've only got about 22 minutes remaining here from Australia. Mount Panorama, Bathurst. Synonymous for Bathurst with V8 supercars. And at the moment, it's GT3s. Of course, the Bathurst 12 out, not too far away in the real world. It's probably not much more finishing than to head here. Drysdale leading, well, certainly leading Pro-Am. It's pretty much become the staple. Fourth overall by his standards. It's an amazing, amazing result. Yes, and Pagini currently second and third in class, 9th, 13th overall. In AM, Grover and Gasparini are first and second, 11th and 12th overall, with Paul Joseph Cliss 16th overall, and rounding out the podium in AM, Sam. Sam, it looks like I owe you a pizza. And also, we've had a bit of, well, by the looks of things, we've lost some big drivers over on early on. Isaac Arvidsson gone. He started the race. And Tony Kanaan as well.
Yeah, awesome to see Tony take part in the championship. Yeah, unfortunately those guys I think getting involved in instant early on. So we've got a fairly spread out field right now. We've got a few battles going on, but Pi once again looking good for a very dominating race victory. I mean, he has been, I think he scored the most points out of anyone at 4 of the 6 meetings so far. One of them was an absolute disaster at Indianapolis, and one was a bit iffy at Spa. But on the most part, he's been very good, and as usual, he's quaking in his Finch boots right now. Yes, and yeah, he's very comfortable out there. But yeah, great result for Tricoli. I think this would be a best result for him of the season. And Paul Lang could see him back on the podium, of course. Had such a strong start to the season, but same, I mean, we constantly see him have issues out there. And we've also got this battle, Matteo Fulini, looking to get 2nd place in the championship. I think he would do, and he has just got past Thomas Yasso. Issues with Fulini. He's down 2 places from his very start, so I'm almost certain he was involved in an incident earlier on, but he's making some good comeback right now. He's got 6.7 seconds to catch up to Martinson. I think that might be a position too far for these, honey.
As we look forward from Fulini right now, Thomas Yaz changing class, but where the drivers finish overall, Sam, does affect the amount of points they incur, despite being in different classes, where in other championships, just changing position like that, despite being in different classes, wouldn't make any effect whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we'll certainly change things. I think it makes it a little bit more competitive out there, honestly, when you got potentially 59 opponents rather than just 19. So yeah, I think that will make a difference for the championship. And of course, that kind of demonstrates how good Drysdale is doing. That he's been able to get himself so many pros to the next Pro-Am drive, and he'll be taking a step closer to the championship. Because Franken very close to Paul Collishaw. I think Collishaw's just been able to make that move. He's up into 18th place. A good work there from Collishaw. Not a whole lot faster on that last lap actually than Franken, but there he goes. And yeah, he has, well, has he been able to finish this one off?
Oh,
nicely done. That is excellently done. Such a grippy corner. It's a fun circuit this time. Honestly, this I had to do a Radicals race earlier on in the week. It is so good, this track.
Did you say a rallycross track?
Radicals.
Oh, I thought you said rallycross then. Around Bathurst. To be fair, that's we describe my driving through the obviously, you know, through Skyline. It normally ends up through the gravel. Steering over, and a bit of attack here from Gasparini. Ferrari on Ferrari, down the mountain. Cover straight. It is in, yeah, it is in them, isn't it? This is the battle for lead into the chase. They're going to remain as they are. Still a bit of time left on the clock. 18 minutes left here remaining from Australia. Sam, I'm gutted we've missed the start of this one. Absolutely gutted. You mentioned about Collishaw earlier, but that brilliant overtake around the outside. He, coming into this round, was he made his way up to 4th in the championship. Really making great ground is the Brit. The one was Russell in the AM category. He's not here this evening. In championship leader, Pierre Zeze, he is down in 25th overall, which makes him 7th in class. Which is, we've got a lot of AMs inside this top 25.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best that the AMs have done all season long. I think it just shows the attrition rate. It's Bathurst after all, as Federico Eli runs wide. Starting the lead lap to fair, so it's not a huge field spread. We've currently got the top 23 all on the lead lap, which actually is fairly standard.
Oh, Samson's just made it past Dane.
Yeah.
Oh, Dane's out.
Wow. Now that's big for the team's championship, certainly with Race Anywhere leading the way, albeit they will still be leading the way up to the...
I dropped a commentator's curse when we were looking at as we discovered when I was looking at the points earlier, Sam, and you very rightly pointed out, you said to me, Tim, you said 2 rounds ago, this is pretty much Sim Race Sweden, they've wrapped the championship up. They've now lost the lead, and Race Anywhere are ahead of them, and well, they're only going to extend that right now because they've got Lang and Schwartz in 3rd and 5th overall, respectively.
We always get those calls on. There was that bloke who claimed that the internet would be not a significant thing. You're rivaling him as the most idiotic man on the world.
There was, I think it was, running a bit wide there. Was
that one getting past all.
Someone claimed, I think it was a guy who ran IBM could only see the need for like 3 or 4 computers in the whole world. Good job he was wrong. We wouldn't have sim racing. As well, battle up the hill, the drag race on. It was it was Hall running wide, so Zanon just getting past him there. 3 Rap Squad Corsa driver and the Porsche getting that move comfortably done, and slightly different lines approaching him there. The Brit taking a slightly shallower exit and then opening up more on exit. Either way, it didn't seem to make too much of a difference whatsoever. But we've got into the pits is...
Oh, so there was a back marker, I think, who spun in front of Dames. And, well, I don't know if it was an attempted sort of rejoin.
I was wondering where you were going with this, Sam.
Yeah, attempted rejoin, or whether he was just stranded on that part of the circuit. Either way, Will Dames with another disappointing result. Remember, 3 race wins, if I recall correctly, for Will Dames this season. 2nd most winningest driver so far, only behind Oscar Pye. And he's been wiped out here with only minutes to go.
Dames and Pye are very identical in the sense that it's been win or nothing for them, pretty much.
I mean, to be fair, Pye's had very few nothings. It's just mainly been winning.
Yes, whereas Dames has had, well, when Pye's not been around to mop it, take the victory, Dames has been there to take it. But it's been more knots than wins for Dames.
Yeah.
Gutting. And another one for me is Paul Lang, Dames' teammate. Every time he's fallen through the order, he's always come back to, somewhere mid to upper top 10. But he's had to do it the hard way. Yes. Seeing Matthias Martinson there. Normally, and I say this with no disrespect to Matthias, of the 3 Swimmer Sweden drivers, he's had the lesser results. The inverted commas weaker. I say that he would absolutely wipe the floor and destroy me. Completely and utterly. He's an astoundingly quick driver, and I think that probably speaks volumes of Arvidsson and Olsen in equal terms. But I mean, he's on after a cracking result here, 7th right now overall, and currently lying 6th in class too.
Yeah, pretty good drive right now from Martin. He's Arvidsson did join the server. I think he unfortunately retired earlier on. Tobias Olsen did change cars recently, but he's not currently in the race himself. So yeah, a little bit of a rough run for Sim Race Sweden, who started off the season so strong for Olsen. But that's ever so close win at Indianapolis. I hope he's forgotten that one, because that was a painful one to watch. Very unlucky. But yeah, Martin flying the Swedish flag well at the moment, up there in 7th place. Fulini, I think, is catching him, but not at a pace which would get him close right now. Well, it will be close, but I don't think he'll be able to get past 12 minutes of this race to go, as we tune in on this battle. Dirk Bouts trying to get past Alessandro Righi right now. And, Bouts has got plenty of overspeed. It was 0.8 of a second faster on that last lap. He could go for this move into Quarry Bend if he wants to do it. It's banked on the inside, so big advantage if you have the a tighter line, and that is what Bouts has been able to utilise, and he's up to 21st.
Oh, a lovely little move there. I don't know, maybe it's just me, Sam. Turn 2 always scares me going side by side or trying to make the uptake there. But as these drivers demonstrated, so easy to do as with Zanon into the pits right now. Kasarorkas in there, but that looks terminal. I think he's been there for quite a while now. These drivers showing that yet again.
Oh, in the
wall. No.
You can do that a few times and get away with it. Unless you're in the radical, as I found out. don't like to mention it, Tim, but I did win the BSR Radical Winter Series Championship at this
circuit.
circuit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that one. Let's concentrate on the racing actually for a moment before I babble on. Franken going every which way. He's on the inside here, and he is going to go for the move. It's such a huge braking point there, and Franken easily getting it stopped and being able to stop it on the apex as well. So he's holding on to that 18th place. Him and Ellie very close on pace over these last few laps.
And it seems though he clipped the wall on the outside, well, a bit more than clip. Had a bit of a good old rubbing his racing moment, but managed to recover that and regain the place, but looking like he's going to basically lose it. That's a great result for him from Goose Rankin. As Howard, as you taught us, see right now the Iranian driver currently.
Audis aren't meant to look.
No.
I mean, it's a very similar car to the Lamborghini. Honestly, it looks pretty much just as much like
the
Lamborghini as an Audi.
It does, if it's a write-off. I'm trying to make an incredibly witty pun right now about being like a Bentley.
Abort.
Does it say Bentley? Aborty?
No, I'm just saying abort this joke.
Okay, just don't. There you go. And that just shows what the difference with damage makes to your car. You lose a place, and with relative ease, because you've just got a complete lack of downforce and, well, grip available to you mechanically.
Getting close for second
Oh,
place.
that's in the wall there, Sam. That's in the wall for the Lamborghini. Oh, and this is where it gets tricky, doesn't it? Because you're then moving left, right, left, and it's hard. I think it was.
Going for second place, sorry. Paul Lang has just moved up into second position. He's got past David Tricoli. He was catching him very quickly. I wonder if Tricoli's picked up some damage or something, because his pace is slipping away, and Lang moves up to second place.
No, I thought of a more intelligent pun, but it's too late, mate. It's gone. And that's lying ahead, as you say. Tricoli, though, I mean, sometimes it is easier to follow than it is to be the one who's being followed. Tricoli's staying right on the back of Lang. Effervescent Lang, who's, well, likes to do things the hard way. He qualified fourth, I think, to second. Closing. Lang knows it. He moves around to break the draft. You can hear the car bottoming out. It came across the lump. Oh! Well, you heard what Lang fuel saving there. He cut the throttle, and that's why Tricoli just ended straight up in the back of him, where he wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, having to limp around, not confident that he's going to get to the end of the race with the fuel that he's got, because that was clutch, I think. I mean, it sounded like the car went completely silent, so...
Yeah, it's not a lift, it is full-on clutch, isn't it? And he's clutching it, trying to hold on the place, and you see from the onboard camera there, well, the webcam of Paul Collishaw, concentrating eyes as ever. I believe that's...
He has eyes. Or 3 eyes? We don't know.
What was that character from Futurama? The girl.
Yeah, I didn't really watch. Oh, Tricoli's back fast.
He is. So where has Lang lost all that time? Has he? Interesting. That's Maria. We're seeing right now all over the back of Goose Rankin. We'll say all over the back, left, right, left. It's like he's putting out marching orders right now. He's a sergeant. Oh, cannons back off it does Goose Rankin and Maria. Well, I got away with that one. Collishaw's made it past Clist as well. Oscar Pi's just set 3 purple sectors as well. It's all happening, Sam. It's all happening with 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, speaking of 3 eyes, we need them in order to tune in with all this action going on. We've tuned in for a good part of the race, it must be said. Apologies once again for the lateness of the stream, but glad that we're going to be able to see the conclusion of this round 7 of the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. Big slide there for Schwartz. I think you'll get away with that one. You'd have to get very unlucky to do in a wheel, making that little contact with the wall, but Drysdale could see curtains approaching him, but actually he's been able to pull away slightly as by still having to dodge these cars. He's got, well, he's lapped up to 22nd place now. He should only get one more back marker before the end of the race. It should just be Doug Bouts.
There's Alessandro Righi there, just getting wide and having a bit of a graze with the bumper. There's early, just trying to close in on these closing stages on the back of Paul Joseph Clist. Coming up over the rise. Luckily we don't have the real life worry of having to worry about Ruse, you know, skipping across the track here. Ooh, was that Clist just having a bit of a graze with the wall on the outside then to the eye clock?
It's so difficult to tell because iRacing randomly just produces sparks on these walls even when there isn't contact, and of course we sort of get a different kind of feed to what the driver gets because you know, of pings and all that. So it's you can't sort of take it with a grain of salt whenever you see someone hit the wall because you can never be certain. That time they seem to avoid the walls through Forest Over. Certainly the most easily or most magnetic wall on the circuits, I reckon. And they all survived impressively there.
Now, James Hall at Daytona, mixed fortunes. I mean, he had an amazing race. Up, down, it was like a yo-yo. And if he hadn't made those bits of contact, you do wonder where he would have gone. Everyone else, we're going to fuel our safe our way around this race. James Hall said, no, I'm not doing any of that. I'm going for it. And he did, and he was overtaking absolutely everyone. And if he hadn't have had that bit of contact, where could he have come? How would it have panned out? We'll never quite know. As Cooley is, well, yeah, he says ahead of Lang.
Yeah, so Chicoli got past Lang about 3 laps ago, I believe. So, of course, Lang was able to get past and then had some sort of issue. Of course, we think that Lang is actually compromised on fuel. We're not sure if he can actually get to the end of the race from here on the fuel that he's got in that car.
He must have known that. And so why didn't he just sit in Chicoli's draft the whole time?
Well, maybe that's what he realised about a minute after making that move. That, oh, hang on, I don't actually want to be ahead here. But he's not really close enough right now to get the benefit of that draft. So, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how on the limit he is. Maybe he's fine now. Maybe he's done a bit of fuel saving. He can push to the end. But, yeah, it did seem like he underfueled by a litre or two.
The board with Schwartz. That is Mitchell Drysdale of Pro-Am fame ahead of us.
Drysdale seemingly has a very quick car down the straight because he's constantly going purple in Sector 1, which, as far as I'm aware, is Hell Corner and the long straight. So he's slippery out there. You won't be easy to overtake.
I mean, maybe that's where he's. This is one of the things with the setup, isn't it, around here, Sam? That do you just set the car up to be incredibly quick down the straight, knowing that no one can really overtake you over the top? So we're seeing here Lambo versus Lambo up the hill. Fellini making light work of Martinson up the inside. And now we're going to see what I was just talking about. From this point onwards, Sam, it's impossible to overtake. So it doesn't matter how quick you are through here. You can just hold everyone up as we're seeing the 2-3B Rap Squad Corsa Porsches there ganging up on Joseph Clist.
Yeah, Clist hang on to that one.
Well, especially taking a lot of curb there, and he kept it shallow and right round the outside is going to come Giuseppe Muir. A lovely little move. Opportunity to Italian getting it done. But it's all on again for second place. Do you think Lang maybe overcooked his tyres and just tried to bring him back in? Because it's like he's gone from nothing to all of a sudden full out aggression mode again.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. I think the track temperature is quite cool. It's 8 in the morning right now in Sims, so they shouldn't be pushing the tyres too much. But I mean, it's a possibility. Tyres do kind of degrade more now, and of course the teams don't have to prepare the tyres to go multiple stints because you can just change tyres whenever you want. So back at Daytona, I believe at least, they were changing tyres every single stop, even in this series where we had a 90-minute race. They're still changing tyres at their stop because tyres and fuel are taken out at the same time now. By the way, there's a very good flag behind Paul Collishaw of 5 cars, and this is very good for second place. However, Collishaw's got, yeah, it's as though he's running away from someone in a horror movie right now because he's got them all stacking up behind.
Trying to run away from 2-3 Rap Squad Corsa Porsches, well, lots of things there, Freddie Gurley and Giuseppe Ware. Just like Curly's trying to run away from Lang. And on the last lap, Oscar Pye, he just set the fastest lap of the race. The only driver to go into the 2-minute deads. Everyone, their closest time was the 2:01.7, yeah, 0.7. Pye, 2 minutes dead, 0.94. As Collishaw has succumbed to a posse of 3 Raps.
Gabriele in the pits.
Yes, well spotted, Sam. That's going to shake things up a little bit, and I think everyone can see everyone bump up one. I think he might have underfueled his car.
Yeah, that's a shame for North Sim Racing.
That's looking very clean, that car. Oh, the 2 Brits having a go. Clist versus Collishaw. As white flag's in the air, 1 lap left to go. And now, Clist's gone from the attacker to having to defend from Gus Rankin.
As Tricoli being caught by Lang down that straight, he just about had enough pace to hold on. And Schwartz has got past Drysdale as well, so right at the close, Schwartz has done enough, and that's...
They're on their final lap, I think, Sam.
Well, they're about to start their final lap. Pye was pretty much around.
Yeah, it is,
so
yes, sorry, he was, wasn't he? Yeah, it's where he's so far ahead.
Schwartz, come on, you done it, mate. You need to push it through Murray's corner, quite like that.
It's the brakes into Malm corner. It's well spotted, Sam. I thought that Pye was a bit more further around than what he actually was, so... Well, Tricoli still trying to...
Oh, here comes Drysdale. He's so quick down the straights, this Drysdale. He's an absolute rocket. There he goes. That, and through this part of the circuit, this is where Schwartz should be able to pull away.
Oh, Lang, you can't overtake that. That's not allowed, and you have to grind pretty much to a standstill as Tricoli just about gets this Audi squeezed in front of Lang's Lamborghini as we head across Skyline.
Amazing driving from Tricoli there to survive that. He had to turn out of the corner. He had to turn left, turn right through a left-hander to avoid contact. That was very smart driving from him.
Now we drop down through the S's, through the Dipper. She can't just help to say with a Australian accent. That was appalling, wasn't it? That was appalling. Just don't give it the date.
Oh, you're not covering yourself in glory tonight, Tim.
I'm really not. I'm really not. It's Oscar Pye. Well, he's going to walk his way to a victory with this one. Nearly 19 seconds clear of the field. Frenchman's got 1 corner left to go. Through Murray's. He's out of there. And it's another win for the young Frenchman of Kawanda Jr. in the Porsche.
No!
Oh, that's Lang around.
And he's going to lose places, surely. He is. He's going to drop down to 4th.
There goes Schwartz, and there goes Drysdale. Oh no! Well, it must have been just a lunge into the chase. It's all it could have been.
Yeah, well, how Tricoli's been able to survive that last lap because Lang was sending it.
Oh.
Now he's sent it into a wall, and he shows off the iRacing damage model. And
hold on, is he crossed the finish?
Yeah, the finish line's fairly early. Oh, Martinson has got back past Fulini as well. And Fulini, is that Fulini off? I think it is.
It is.
They're all off. It's a back marker as well.
Yeah.
So I think Fulini's collided with the back marker, and it's allowed Martinson back up into 7th place.
Well, Martinson's come off the track as well. There's something major happened there, hasn't there, Sam? It's all kicked off.
Was it with Brimmermans?
I'm liking your train of thought, Sam.
Well, that's a shame for Fulini. He does keep up his 100% top 8 record so far this season, as his teammates keep swapping. Yeah, yeah. I think every race he's finished between 5th and 8th. I say every race, every meeting he's finished between 5th and 8th. Or 4th. No, 4th and 8th.
Yes. Well, I would imagine there wouldn't be a battle here. You never quite know.
Oh, what? Oh, I think he's run out of fuel. I think he's pushing him along. Now he needs to skip the chicane. No. If he's run out of fuel, then just don't do the chicane, mate.
No, I think this should be okay here. It's all downhill. but maybe just need that extra bit of a shove over that mile just to get him down the hill and save it. Yeah, that's one way. So there's clearly a few people out there under fueling.
Well, that was very much Apex Racing team-esque there, just bump drafting for constantly, well, it works out right there. So well done, guys, and at least I believe Ellie was out of fuel. If that was just for fun, then that was some risky fun.
The only thing is they won't be able to make the jump if they're out of fuel.
That's a good shout. Yeah. Because remember at Bathurst here, you actually run 3 extra litres of fuel just so you can do the jump at the end of the race. Yeah. I mean, everyone knows that.
Hey, it's standard practice. Let's just take you through the race results. Oscar Pye taking the victory yet again. Can anyone knock him off the top perch? He's looking unbeatable as we kickstart the second half of the season. Chicoli second, Schwartz third, Drysdale winner in Pro-Am, fourth overall, a great result for him. Real bumper points haul inbound for the American. Lang fifth with incident in the end that's caused him to drop down. Sampson, Martinson, Fellini take up to 8th with Thomas Yaz 9th, second in Pro-Am. Then it's first and second, 10th and 11th respectively in Am. De Breva and Gasparini with Pagini finishing in 12th and running at your podium in Pro-Am as we have got Puccetti and Natini, Ellie, Giuseppe Muea. He finishes in I'll tell you, in 16th. Well off the pace for him, really disappointing. Paul Chase Cliff finished in 17th and Franken in 18th. Moving down through the field is Collishaw. Sorry, yes, Collishaw in 19th for Dirk Bouts. In 20th, Rigi in the end, he lapped down. Disappointed by that one. Likewise, Salvatore Piazzese finishing in 22nd. Utortus 23rd, Pedro, Trani, Hall and Zenon all on the lap down with Gabrielli 2 lap down. Moving into the retirements now. Bizagalia, Buremans, Kaskarokas, 9 laps down the end. Lost him sadly. Will James, disappointing. He's been really coming into form, but yet again, that all or nothing results for him. Season finished all the way down to 32nd. PJ Clayson's 33rd. Peter Lemkins lost 27 laps ago. Isaac Arvidsson, another big loss for him. After dominance in the first half of the season, not going the way of himself and Simrace Sweden Esports. Tony Kanan and Christian Engelhardt, 30 laps off the pace. Right, we are going to head into some highlights now with myself and Sam C on the other side for more reaction and chat to some of our drivers. Hello and welcome. Well, after the slightly delayed start due to an overrunning broadcast previously, I'd love to know what happened at the start, because something major happened. We've lost a few people early on, but then equally after that, I mean, some cracking racing once again from this league, Sam. Some big twists, turns, stories coming out of it. And, well, Piazzese, my man. I thought, wow, just after that one performance at Monza, that's all it was all about, really. But well done, Isaac Arvidsson, not helping his championship standings, and Will Dames too. Big names, well done for the order, but there's one thing you can rely on, Sam. Certainties, death taxes, the swimming pool in Titanic still full of water, and Mitchell Drysdale finishing well amongst the pros, and 4th overall in this case.
Yeah, superb performance from him. Unfortunately, he was caught just at the end, but then, of course, with the incidents that we saw for a couple of drivers ahead, was able to get back into that position. It was Paul Lang, of course, dropping down near the end. So, another brilliant result for Mitchell. And yeah, I mean, he's I don't like to call it too early, but unless something major happens, he's pretty much got the championship in the bag, because he's been so consistent with those 2 job scores. You know,
Sam, I said that about Sim Race Sweden esports and the team championships, and well, they've lost it, and also that gap's to race anyway. It's going to grow even further with the results that they've had this week. Let's get some reaction from some of our drivers. We're now joined by Oscar Parr, your winner here today from Bathurst. Oscar, welcome along. Great to speak to you as always. Now, due to a few issues at our end, we didn't catch the first half of the race. Just talk us through it, of what happened from your perspective.
Yeah, thank you. Nothing really interesting. I did the pole position, and then yeah, just started pole, and on Bathurst, pole, you don't take a lot of race, because the first corner is like you can create a huge gap, and so then yeah, I just try to be as consistent as I can. Yeah, I think I could have been a bit faster and a bit more confident, but yeah, pace was still good, and so I created a gap, and then I was just trying to.
Well, I mean, you play it down so much always and almost beat yourself up, but ultimately, Oscar, you've walked away from here with pole, fastest lap, and the victory. Where does this end for yourself? I mean, Brands Hatch next week. Another dominant display for all you. It's a track that quite suits the Porsche.
To be honest, I never raced on Bathurst, so I will discover the track next week.
Well, that's the worst thing to tell a Brit. That's like saying, you know, we've never raced at Le Mans, you know, to a Frenchman, or Manicourt.
Sorry, but no worry, I will practice to be fast there to honor you.
Thank you very much. Good man. Good man. Well, congratulations. Great to speak to you always. Congratulations on the victory. That's Oscar Pye, a Coanda junior team in the Porsche 911. It's always so calm, and at least you for today, eh, Sam? Well, I say that, you're much younger than me, but...
Yeah, I'm not significantly closer to Oscar's age than I am to your age.
I know, I'm so old. I'm so old. But, I mean, where can it stop for him? I mean, second half of the season, kick-started here today at Bathurst, and he does it with a victory. Continue on the form that, as we said during commentary, that he had through the last half of the season.
Yeah, he's just so unbeatable right now, and stomping towards that championship, and with that Porsche just getting stronger as well with that latest BOP. I think he would still win a lot of the rounds that he has anyway, but it has helped.
When he didn't have the BOP in his favour,
he was still taking pole at Indianapolis, wasn't he? So, yeah, very strong for him. I think we have an interview with Mitchell Drysdale, our Pro-Am winner. Again, Mitchell, it's been quite a run of form for yourself recently, and it just seemed like you once again had the pace to be up there with the pros, and more than any other driver, it seemed like you really kept it clean up there.
Yeah, I think number one for me coming into this was to keep a car clean, and even if I get a little bit of cosmetic damage, just keeping up with it. I didn't take the fast repair because I knew, I mean, with some of the other incidents that happen with lap cars and just unfortunate incidents, you never know when you might need it at the end. So, like in the mountain section, I was probably leaving 2 to 4 tenths every lap, just trying to keep the car stable. and stop doing something that could wreck the field, wreck myself, whatever. But yeah, couldn't be much happier with the result.
In terms of setup, Mitchell, it seemed to be that you'd gone down the route of just minimum wing, set it up for straight line speed, knowing that people couldn't really overtake you in the, across the top of the mountain. Is that a tactic that you're using? Because it certainly seemed that way, and is that a tactic you tend to use?
I think it's one of the benefits of the car choice. I think the Ferrari just has a way of just eking out those extra tenths on a straight. I was running quite medium wing just to make sure I was stable in the mountain section. I just think with the traction loss that it has had with bot changes, it still has a bit of its acceleration. So I was able to kind of set the car up actually based off of the Interlagos set that I ran earlier this season to kind of maximize the straights, but also with the elevation, the tight corners and the mid speed, it actually ended up working out quite well. I trimmed a little bit. I went from 5 to 4 degrees on the wing, but still quite medium, I'd say.
Well, congratulations, another victory for Mitchell Drysdale in Pro-Am. We'll see you in a week's time at Brands Hatch. Wow, I mean, dominant from him.
Yeah.
And he is the Oscar Pie of Pro-Am. Actually, no, I'd say more Oscar Pie is it's the opposite way around. Mitchell Drysdale's just been so clinical. And when he has a bad result, he's like third.
Yeah. Apart from that kind of Interlagos round that he had, he's been pretty much just in the top 10 constantly throughout the season. So yeah, really.
Well, and it's not just the top 10 of his, his division. It's overall, isn't it? It's frightening.
Yeah, so really impressive there from Mitchell to continue extending that championship lead. I think we've got an interview with one of our amateur drivers now. Jeremy De Boer, I think, is in the commentary area with us now. Congratulations out there, Jeremy. Pretty good result for yourself today. I mean, how was it tackling Bathurst? It's known as one of the most tricky circuits in iRacing.
First of all, good evening also. It was, for me, was amazing, and I didn't expect to do this result here, because I was on P19 to start, I think, on the 3rd place on the IM Champions, and I did take it on the first laps easy on, and I was with Paul and Claudio in front. I think then Paul made contact with the driver in front of him and they was at that moment out of the battle, and then I came after Claudio and want to hold that pace until we come to the pit stops, and I was a little bit earlier when I go out of that, and from that one I need to take a few seconds if possible to take the victory. And for me also, with my disability and everything I do with hand controls on my steering wheel, so for me it was a very tough race to make it like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we didn't actually weren't aware that you were using hand control, so sort of just explain like the setup that you run then for sim racing.
Well, I have, so there's a Fanatec steering wheel, and we make a very good brake pressure on with a load cell on, and my friends from RP Motorsport make that for me, so I'm very pleased with that, and from that one I can drive like a normal guy, and so it no issues for me, and I can take the battle on. So for me it's amazing that things like that work, and that I can drive it with everyone, so I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely, really good that you're able to be as competitive as you are with that setup. Next up, we've got Brands Hatch. Very different to the other circuits we've visited. I mean, we've been to a lot of high-speed circuits pretty much every single round. How does it feel going to one of the most complex circuits we have on the calendar?
Yeah, I think it's not my favorite circuit, so from that on, I have a lot of work to do, but yeah, we have now 3 races, 3 podiums, so I'm looking forward to it and see what happens there, and maybe we can talk after the race again. We know.
We certainly hope for that, Jeremy. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
I would like to say I'm very happy to all the family who watch here, and to my friends there from every motorsport, to a lot of help from them. So very pleased. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Jeremy, and best of luck. You can keep these wins coming in.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Jeremy de Boyver there. Yeah, I think by far his best result of the season overall. I think his first race win actually in the amateur category as well.
Spot on there.
So yeah, just you know, you kind of got specialists, as Will Dames dies in we kind of got specialists of Bathurst, and he seems to really have it. You know, if you put that practice in, you get comfortable, then you can have great results like that.
I can barely make it round Bathurst anyway. The fact he's doing it using hand controls as well for his braking, by the sounds of it. You know, Robert Wickeness, you know, having to take your hand off the wheel, or, you know, not fully hold it. Do you know what? Hats off to him. It would have been even more so if he had said that he didn't like, you know, hadn't said he didn't like Brands Hatch, but it's my bias coming in completely. But I mean, you know, and yet again, you know, sim racing proving that, you know, it doesn't matter about disabilities, you can still go racing and be competitive. As been shown by himself here, finishing 10th.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best parts of not just sim racing, but also like motorsport as well. The fact that you've got people who kind of do have maybe disadvantages in other sports when it comes to that, but yeah, when it comes to motorsport, you've got some
Alex Zanardi, prime example. You know, so sad that he lost his legs, but still able to not just continue racing, but be extremely competitive. Robert Wickens, as we mentioned, Robert Kubica as well. You know, obviously not to the extent sort of thing as others, but even so, I mean, well, it's you know, such a nice way that, you know, and such a good way that people with disabilities can not just, you know, compete with people with abilities, but also often be a darn sight better than them as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeremy de Boyver versus myself, being prime example there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you I don't think would. Well, I always struggled to stand a chance either. Certainly wouldn't have got a top 10 out there. But yeah, Brands Hatch next time out.
Yes.
And like I was saying, we've been to just high-speed circuits like
and
Fuji,
wide circuits, pretty much.
Yeah.
When you picked this calendar, you went, I don't know, it was almost like you went, do you know what? Let's do something completely different. Cat amongst the pigeons, a tight national British circuit.
Exactly, and we've got the 2-race format as well, so we're going to have a reverse grid for race 2, so that's going to be tricky
for
those top drivers to get their way up. So so far this season, it's very much been a pattern of Pi winning race 1 and Will Dames winning race 2, with Pi finishing in 2nd place. Let's see if it happens again. It would be remarkable if it was 3 in a row.
Oh, definitely, and well, there's only one place to find out. Tune in a week's time where myself and Sam will be here live from the Apex Racing TV studios to cover another round of this spectacular championship, the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy that delivers excitement, drama, builds to a crescendo, and then just spills out even more excitement with so many twists, turns to the story. You never quite know where it's going to get. But thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you in a week's time. We'll be here from the studio. Good night.